Good morning, how are you? Welcome to my channel. So what did I do when I was with you last? I finished filming and I just kept stitching some random little stitches in here. I added more beads. I've started finding some more shells and I put a little bit more of that foliage in here and there with some more rocks. I just kept meandering around. A few Jennifer Coulston's stitches there. I then trimmed the bottom of the wadding off. Remember, it came down from the bottom of this piece. So yeah, I guess I better first of all say this is January. We're now rolling into February and I'm still stitching at it. I just can't put it down. And I haven't even got to stitching beads through the ocean yet. I'm hoping in today's video I can do that. And I've just got myself focused here. I haven't even looked over here. I grabbed then, after I trimmed that bottom bit off, I started looking at this piece on my desk. And it's a crocheted tablecloth that I've got a chunk of. And I just sort of tacked it on the bottom here. And I felt like it was a good way to finish the scene. It feels very textural, very fibrous. It's throughout the piece, like it's the lichen on the fence up the top there on all those fence posts. So I just thought I'm going to nestle this across that bottom edge. Gives me a nice finish. And just stitch it down. So that's when I thought, oh, before I get too far ahead of myself, I'm going to turn the camera on, say hello to you guys. Yes, we got another video to do with the prompt from January. And I haven't even scratched the surface, I don't think, of possibilities for this piece. I picked up my seahorse too, not seahorse, my poor little starfish. He's got a bit of a smell about him. So I've decided I'm not going to stitch him on the piece because, I don't know, they were gifted to me and so I don't really know their history. I'm not even sure if they were ethically harvested, like he was already dead on the beach and someone picked him up. The fact that they all look very similar, I think I've got 6 of them. They all look very similar, as if like a whole family just suddenly died on the beach. I suspect not. So I'm not going to include him on the piece. I've got some bigger shells there too. I'm still deciding about those, these guys. That looks like it's been cut, like they've got a big shell and cut it through to get multiples. I sort of do like it, but I can't decide. I'm not worrying about that side of the beach yet. I just am, I don't know, working this piece. I just can't leave it. And I think once I get this little bit of crocheted tablecloth across the bottom, I might feel a little bit more settled on it. So I'm just going to quickly stitch that on and then we'll have a little look at what else we can do. I know I can do some more embroidery like twigs and things like that. That'll definitely happen. So I hope you've all had a good day. It's getting quite late in the afternoon for me today. I didn't think I'd get a video made and then a spare hour pops up and I'm thinking, I said to my husband, I said, oh, I'm just going to go in and turn the camera on and do a little bit more work on my beach scene. Just felt like going to the beach. And that's where we're at. So I cut the bottom off. I made a decision that it was time to finish the bottom edge of this piece. And this crocheted element feels to me like a bit of netting, like a fishing net. And I thought, well, that'll be a good way to finish it. I'm sure if I went hunting around the internet, I could find miniature netting and have used that, but I think this is pretty good. Gosh, I've got lace on this thing, which is totally random for a beach scene, but it sort of works. Like there's a bit of a foliage feel in that lace. And that was just the corner of something. All right. I left a little lip of wadding. Can you see down here? Just a little bit. I just wasn't sure if I would be connecting into it one day, or I am literally finishing it off there. But I thought, oh, if I leave a little bit of wadding, I can always slip stitch more wadding to it if I do add to this piece. I don't know. Who knows? Decisions can't be made today. Decisions will be made another day. And, you know, if you're new to embroidery and you've got a piece that you've made and you're really not sure what the hell you're going to do with it, don't worry about it. Pop it away, put it in your stash, because I am stunned at how many pieces I pull back out and rework into something else or a bigger project, and they become elements within other projects. Like, yeah. So if anyone says, what are you going to do with it when it's done? Well, nothing. Absolutely nothing. And that's okay, because it's all about the day I went to the beach. I like how I've got layers happening over here. Well, I can't even see layers happening in here. So, you know, random bits and pieces happening. And it's not all just neat and tidy. So I'm okay with all that. Now I'm just going to work my way back along that piece with a couple extra stitches. And at the end of the day, all this invisible stitch, if I decide that I want to get in under there and there's stitches in my way, I just unpick them. Unpick them, restitch it, add more pieces, add, you know, different elements. It'd be more like an extension, I'd say. This would make a great top to a project. Just sort of been percolating in my head. Maybe one day. Maybe one day. All right, let's just knot that off. I need a big piece of cotton. And I just will rethread, so it won't take long to finish that. I've even popped a piece over here that was hanging a bit odd shaped from that morsel, so I've just popped it there. I sort of don't mind that that side over here is a breadth of not much at the moment. It's, I don't know. Let's just catch it right on the edge now and whip that stitch in there, and that'll hold it. I keep coming back to those big shells. I know you've all been giving me comments and suggestions and ideas, and it's all just percolating. There's no commitment to anything yet. And it's literally when I sit down at the piece and go, time to go to the beach again, see what comes of it all. There's a pin there, hidden in the layers. Let's get him out before he causes trouble. So I started thinking about words. I could drift words through it. Like, oh gosh. The things you can do with slow stitch. That feels pretty secure. I don't think that's going anywhere. Okay. You know, another idea I had is I used to have in my last house up at Burrum, my mum and I made a wind chime out of shells that we'd collected over the years. And I don't know where that piece got to. I know when we sold the property, we sort of packed everything up. And I don't know, I must have just returned them to nature. I don't know. going to stitch this in. I like it here. And I thought, well, this would make a really cool piece to dangle shells from the bottom of, like the top of a wind chime, but not a wind chime as such, but a collection of beautiful shells hanging on ribbons directly below it. Like I'm just starting to think about different ways that this piece could be used. Okay. I'll get a few little stitches here. Then I can get rid of this pin. Pins are trouble. That's good. That just softens that edge a little bit. And so we've got our little track to the beach. Now there was a yellowy coloured cotton that's been rolling around on my desk. I just want to double check that I couldn't do a little bit of foliage stitching with it. I ended up not stitching Jennifer inspired vines up the fence posts. I didn't want to crowd them. And I started thinking about perspective, and if I had have done it, they would have need to be so fine and delicate to work, I think. And I didn't want to take away from that random piece of lace that's there that is sort of a bit of a viney thing happening anyway. So that's where I got to with the fence. And I noticed when I sat down, there's a piece of the rusty old wire that we installed that is not secured here. That there is still moving. So while I think of it, here's my little box of tricks that I packed up. I'm just going to thread up a little bit of this brown, this Sue Spargo thread, and just catch, where's my needle gone? Just catch that. Suddenly a week goes by, and if you don't catch these little bits that you spot, you sort of forget where they are. I think I wanted that twisted up. A bit higher. That's it. I'm just going to do this now right now, and then it's done. Yeah, that's good. Just a quick stitch. There we go. Gotcha. Gotcha. Secured. So how you all been? I am good. Nothing really exciting happening. Don't even have an adventurous story to tell you. Aren't I boring today? Okay. Yep. Happy with that. Happy with that. Could do with a few more little... Oh, no. See, you've got to be a bit careful that it doesn't start getting too heavy. I know a few of you commented that you're not a lover of this guy, but I love him. I love how he's very random. I'm wondering if it's the colour that is annoying you all. Well, not all of you, a few of you. Maybe we have a play with the centre of him and we tone him down with a few creamy beads. Sometimes it's the colour that is popping, so we might just do a little bit of embellishing. Let's have a play. If we don't like it, I can take it out. This needle probably won't go through these beads. I don't know. Not convinced that this is the right. No, we're getting too flower-like. It's a flower already without making it even more obvious it's a flower. What I will do is I will thread that needle up with a fine needle and we'll duck back down in behind there, and we'll make our way down to here. Because I think I could do with just a few little beads drizzled in there. Okay. I know that's probably a detail that you guys are not really picking up on. But from here, just feels like we need just a smattering, not a heavy stitched down zone like the bottom of the piece, but just where it catches the light, there's something going on, softens the whole. And then I'm going to jump down to this little ridge down here where these little plants are, and just get a few in there as well. I cannot believe how many hours I've put into this piece. Bloomin' slow stitch. I bet you guys have got pieces too that you just look at and going, my goodness, am I still here? There we go. A couple little beads there. Yeah, just needed something. Happy with that. Now I might go hunt out that yellow thread, because I feel like we need a few little French knots. I haven't put any stones up high on that ridge. I think I've got enough of the stone thing happening. Okay. Yeah, well, there's a spare bead. Let's pop him away. This, I just feel like I could do something with this. Maybe it's too thick for that area. Like, it's a very thick. What's it, a number 8 for sure? Yeah, of course it's a number 8. The bigger the number. There's another wayward bead. Oh my goodness me. I must have flicked them. Haven't even stitched in there yet. I'm like, oh. I just want to get out of this region here, and today is the day. What are we going to do here? Let's do some tiny little, it's unthreaded. Tiny little foliage type stitches. We might do just a little V stitch. It'll just add that extra layer. It's not a jarring colour. Probably no one will even notice that it's there. But just feel like we could smatter a few of these little Jennifer Clouston inspired stitches. Just helps that grass come together. Now what we'll do while we're here is I'd like to do a colonial knot as well here and there, back through the beads. Oh, that was a useless knot. Didn't even work. Let's try that again. Oh, you know what we could do? Loosen it off so it becomes loopy. So don't make it a tight knot. That one sort of did, because maybe with a French knot. So 1, 2, 3, but let it be loose. So it's a bit more relaxed and becomes a bit tangly. Yes, that's what we're doing. French knot, 3 wraps. Don't let it become too tight to form that bit, which is going to be easy as it gets caught on everything. And you get this lovely little loopy loose 1, 2, 3. Let me bring the camera in, I'll show you it, because you probably can't see a blooming thing. I'm coming back down that ridge. Let's zoom in. It's such a small detail on this piece, but 1, 2, 3. Now normally you would cinch that nice and tight, but I'm letting it just sit relaxed and then knot it off. So you start to get like this little tumbleweed effect. Let's do it again. We'll do it all the way down that ridge. Oh, I like that. And you get this soft, loopy French knot. Okay, let me reposition. For goodness sakes, girl. You're all over the place. 1, 2, 3. Keep it loose. I'm staying in the line of foliage there, and it's just to soften that edge up on the ridge. 1, 2, 3. Keep it loose. Now I might leave it at that because we've got this loopy knotty thing happening. And then I've got a little bit of thread there. Some of that oh, it's not enough. I'll leave that in my orts jar. Let's grab another piece. That's a nice mustardy colour, that. 676 DMC pearl cotton. Very nice. It's nearly helping with a bit of shadowing. You can't even see. Hang on. Let me just get myself reorganized, rethreaded. And I will move my work up. So what we'll do is we'll do some of those little loose knots along this edge. So 1, 2, 3. Let it just relax down into position and then follow through with your your knot. Probably not as loose as it could have been, so let's try that again, because I got all these bits grabbing at me as I was coming through. There we go. Another one. Yeah, that blends beautifully. It's not jarring. Sort of get to a point where you've got enough elements of colour. Okay, I'm going to jump forward a little bit. Pop a couple more over here. Just keep it loose. 1, 2, 3. Now on that other side I did a couple little stitches too that made it look twiggy, so I want to do that over here. I'll get this last one in. A couple little knots. Now let's do just a few little grassy twigs. You think you haven't achieved much after doing some twigs and things, but when you step back from the piece, it's quite interesting how all those little bits come together to make something quite interesting. So I might come in under those beads there with a couple knots as well, just to sort of blend it all together. And that's him. Well, not him. That's that zone with a little bit more interest. I wonder if I can get over to there. My thread's getting a bit small. I'll finish it off. Now, something else I was wanting to revisit is the brown stick-like pieces. Now, I didn't do them on camera last time. I started putting some sticks in the background there. See them there? So that was a Sue Spargo thread. I just feel like I could play a little bit more with that. Actually down here. Okay, so what I did with that is I did a nice big bold stitch. Then I couched it with one little stitch to the side, and it put quite a rigid shape into it. And that was the start of the rest of the stitches. So I then brought another one down to meet that elbow I created. I then can bring one down here, and you just sort of meander your way down your stick. Might even put a kink in that in the other direction with a little couch stitch. Sort of opens up your twig too. And come down here. So it's just building this whole little zone here just needs a little bit more work. I've got 2 elements already there. Just felt like we could do a bit more of a twig. We might come from the bottom, I'm thinking, up, maybe down as low as these rocks. Come from behind them. There we go. Back up. And then let's bend that stick over. Or the twig. It's not a stick, it is growing. Like that. And get a bit of a random shape. And then we'll bring this guy in as well. Just play. We're going to bend that up, contort it. And then we could bring a little twig into there, and that'll connect that to there. Over stitched there. See how I went past the point of the branch? So it doesn't look natural. So let's try that again. Now that same brown is over here with some pistol stitches that I put on top of the ribbon that I did it again. Why is this not wanting to join up to make it look like an actual plant? So I've got to really make sure I get into that joint. There we go. That, I think, got it. I think we could do a stitch here into that elbow and a stitch below it. Just to make my unfortunate looking little twig. And I'm going to come up down the bottom here and just pop in a couple more stitches. So a smaller twig is there. Just a little one. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Slow down. We've caught the rock. All these obstacles. There we go. And I might just come down here to this very edge and do something a little bit wonky as well. Just to soften that. What are we doing? We're connecting that to the ground. There we go. Now up here, I missed the branch again. What's going on today? Let's just get that connected, because in nature, it's connected. There we go. Might just put another little stitch there. Yep, good. So we've got this little sticky thing growing there. That's helped fill that space in. Just needed something extra. Let's have a look at our piece now and see where we have little pockets of air for something, or do we leave it? Okay, there comes a point where you nearly need to just stop, because, let me zoom up a little bit. Okay, let's have a look. So we've got a bit of a rocky thing with not much growing. Then there's obviously a bit of soil is caught in around these bigger boulders, so then life can start coming up. Got some soft stitching. Yeah, there's not much growing up on this ridge. It's pretty barren. And then once again, there's a little bit of something growing over here. I'm pretty happy with that, you know. Like, I could keep going, but I don't want to. It's a sand dune, you know. There's not a lot of life in the back of sand dunes. I might leave it at that, because something might pop up down the track that I go, oh, I could add that. And I'm thinking along the lines of lacy morsels. But at the moment, I think what I want to do is have a look at the waves. Now, this zone through here is a chiffon, and I don't know if you can see it, but there's a bit of a sparkle there. So I want to build on the fact that there's a foamy sea edge there. Gosh, I just can't keep a needle threaded for the life of me. I need to go and find a straw needle too, because I'm struggling. Oh, it's splitting the thread. I think this is a cheap, nasty needle. It splits my cotton. There's something not right with that needle. Let's have another look. Here we go. This one might be better. So the thought I had here is on this edge where the chiffon is meeting the sand or the netting. So there's still this little bit of foam. Let me just get these. These ones I think might do the trick. I had thought of doing some iridescent through here as well, but I don't want to glam it up too much. Oh, now the needle doesn't work, for goodness sakes. My bead needles, they're so fine, they disappear into that. This one will do the trick. They disappear into the pin cushion. So every so often I've got to unpack my pin cushion and just see what has disappeared down in there. That's half the problem. There we go. All right. So I just want to, gosh, probably no one will ever notice that I've just beaded this section with these little blue beads, but I think it'll be worth it. Whether it can handle a bit of white as well, you know, that foamy churned up water look. It might be too much of a line, so I definitely want to play a little bit in the water now. I feel like we've finished the sand dune, that side anyway. Yeah, that's good. It's like a little bubbly edge. Am I being descriptive enough? Have you got the general gist of what the girl was thinking? No one's ever going to notice that they're even there. Oh, now I've got a bead that doesn't go through the needle, of course. Where'd it go? The one that did. I was trying to be quick and put 2 beads on. Yeah, that's going to work a trick. What about we have a look? I just spotted out of the corner of my eye these little pearls. I haven't used these. See, these were from a necklace. You can see the necklace is still in there. They've got a bit of an iridescent finish to them, actually. They're a bit cute. I grabbed a few in that stitch, but that's okay. Getting a watery line here and there won't hurt. I will need to just stitch 1 or 2 at an angle out from that line because I think it'll look too uniformed. Now tuck a little blue one in. I'm liking that. I bet you guys can't even see what the hang I'm stitching here. Yeah, I love it. I don't think I'm going to chase iridescent beads down. It would have probably meant going to the shop and buying some. I think that little pearl I just spotted is going to give me that little sparkle I need. Yeah, they've definitely got an iridescent coating. There we go. So that gives me the white look and the iridescent look all in one and in pearls, which is just so me. Love me a good pearl. And I'm going to meander all of those, just those 2, across that front foam. And then I've got my stitched pieces in there as well. Stitch pieces, finish my sentence. The stitching that I did way back, it had like a shimmer to it, that old rayon crochet cotton. It's perfect for in there. Bead doesn't fit on the needle. I need to dig out my pack of straw needles. As much as I loathe a straw needle, sometimes you just have to. When you're down in the 2 mil beads, you've got to have the right tools for the right job. Love it. And I think if I sort of roll it as I go, see I've put 3 together there and it's starting to build a bit of a lineal line. I think that's a good thing too with the water. Okay, happy, happy. Okay, I might just rethread that and do a proper knot, guys. That was a bit slap happy. Okay. I'm determined to get the water finished. So I need that. I wonder if they would work in it. No, I'll put the lid on because we'll see. I'm going to keep them close, that darker pearl. I was thinking the blue beads next. They look a bit cheesy. I don't like those. Nope. They've been sitting there. Definitely some of these real dark ones. And I wonder No, don't put them in there. Keep them up in the actual distance. Just a few. Don't go crazy. Do I need them? I don't think I do. I like this just the way it is. Simple. Nope. I've rejected all those beads. I've been carrying them around for goodness knows how long. Oh, here's another bead. Oh, yeah. Hello. Yes. They're just a little bit more murky. It's a dirtier blue. All right. The other thing I've been carrying around for a while, and I need to decide, is right at the very beginning, I thought I could get away with a bit of green. But I don't know. I don't think I can. Oh, there's an iridescent. Okay, look. I just found some iridescent ones. Clear, bigger ones. Right. I need to give them a home. So I'm going to hook a few out. Where's the needle gone? Yeah, see those? That's what we need. This was a little pack of beads that was given to me the week I was at the retreat for forage last year. See there's a green. How does green work? Now, no, see, it's just wrong, isn't it? Isn't it amazing? You think, where's that bead gone? You think you've got what you need. I think I only need a few of those, and I'm just going to pop them through. You think you're heading down a green path, but when you pop it in, it's just not right. Now there's a sequin in here that's worth exploring. It's a flesh coloured sequin, but I don't think it's right either, you know. Yeah, nope. That's a grey. All right, so that's gone. And I've got myself some iridescent, so let's get them in. How are we going for time? Plenty of time. I'm going to thread up the needle, and we're going to stitch down those few iridescent beads, and then they're done. And then I can have homework where I just explore the pearl and the blue. Then I have to make a decision what I'm doing to the side. Do I have to make a decision? Probably not. Put these unreal expectations on myself. Should I just call the piece finished as we know it for now? Gosh, it feels so nice in my hands. Like it's got that... Where's my thread gone now? Seriously? I've got a big eye on this. I know. Yeah, it just feels so squishy and yummy. I didn't have a look at my diary to see how many episodes we've... You know, I don't like that bead there. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take it out, and I'm going to, instead of being random, I'm going to follow the line that lace has done. That white lace there. I'm going to come back over here, and I'm going to keep the beads in line with that lace. So it looks like the bubbles on the edge of that wave continue along in a linear line. So then I will pick up one of the smaller ones and follow that line. That looks like it's meant to be and not just a random blob. And what I might do is come back into that lace with one of the smaller ones again. There we go. Now we've started something. We're beading the top of the wave. Oh, I like that. Oh, that's arty. I'm going to need more of those because I've just created a whole new concept. We're going to bead it with these guys. They're there, but they're not there. It's those bubbles of air. I think that will really put a bit of bling into the center of this piece, actually. And we won't be doing any dark beads. We're not going to do that. We're going to stay away from that horizon. I've resisted the urge to put seagulls, boats, ships, anchors, lighthouses. I've tried to keep it elegant. Tried to behave myself. Resist the urge. That's a big bead. I need a little one. Righto. Here we go. We're back into it. Oh, there's some white ones here behind me. Are they too white? Let's have a little dig in here. They've got a pearlescence over them as well. No. Ooh. That'll give me that smaller scale. If I can come back through. Now I'm going to be ratting around for clear beads. For goodness sakes. Just when I thought I wouldn't need them. I don't need to do it in a straight linear line right across the lot. I can just jump around a little bit, which is probably, now I'm putting one out into that blue. Oh yes. It makes me think I won't need this guy now. That might just be a bit too jarring. Just stay on that edge of that. Oh yeah, right, they're gone. They're out. Yes. And if I keep it a little bit gappy, it'll make my very low quantity of iridescent beads last. I've got heaps of white beads, so that will get me a fair bit of distance. And then if I jump, say, over to there, so I've got nearly a fingernail width between. Mind you, I've only got 4 iridescent beads left, so might be wishful thinking. So this is being a bit more deliberate with the placement of my beads than just smattering them through, building on a structure. Gosh, now we sound professional, don't we? It makes sense. We've got these waves coming over, which I just love how that lace has worked like that. Okay, now we might put an iridescent. I can't believe we've done 15 minutes already. What did we achieve? Oh, for goodness sakes, we did do some sticks. We did do an edge, a bubbly edge for the water. I'll just jump across a little bit further. I can always backfill with white beads. So let's get these iridescent ones stitched down. I'm going to run out of cotton. All right, stop a second. Let's just knot off, because I do not have enough cotton to continue. So we're going to knot it off. Okay. All right. Well, it's exciting when you figure out something that you love in stitching and you're off and running. Okay. Oh, I lost my thread. Are you serious? There's so many things to snag on. There it is. That you thread up your needle and you go in thinking you just got a straight line to where you need to be, and you've snagged it on a shell and you're not getting anywhere. There we go. So we're back up here. I'm just going to stitch down the last of those iridescent beads so then they're found a home before I lose them, because they've turned out to be very valuable. And then I can come back with white, try and rat out some more from somewhere. I don't really want to buy them. Like, how many beads does a girl need? Heaps. There we go. That's those few that I found now in position. So what I might do is pause the video. I will go and toddle off and do a little bit of stitching, and then I'll pop back and show you the finished crests of the wave. Oh, now we're getting fancy. And the foam in here. And then I guess we need to have a good think about where we go from this point. I sort of feel like, I don't know, something is telling me to stop. And there's something else that can go here that I just haven't thought of yet. Maybe I'll think of it while I'm beading. I just have this feeling I should just woo. Oh, come on. All right, 2 more, that's it. I need to stop and finish this off and then come back. Okay, guys. So it'll be a split second for you and probably an hour for me. I might just end that off because I don't think I'm going to pick this piece up till later on. So I might just safely end that needle off, then I know it's good. I shall bring back that little container of mixed beads because I need to get in there and find the rest of those. Where do we put this needle? Oh, up here where I can see it. Okay, so let me bring that up to the camera. So we've got this little blue bubbling thing happening here, and I'll probably drift down here a little bit. Then we've got the waves getting this treatment. So that guy will, this guy, and I'll finish him off. Okay, all right, lid on the beads before you knock them. I'll keep that collection together. You can't even see what I'm doing. Oops, back out. We'll keep that collection together, and I need to get this back and see how many more little iridescents in there. Not many. All right, gonna have to go further afoot. All right, guys, I will see you shortly. Okay, bye. Hello, everyone. I'm back. I've finished doing my blue ocean beads. So let me just bring it up. So what I did is I ended up being quite deliberate about my placement. I always thought it'd be a very random thing, but I ended up doing what I said, following the lines of those 3 little white caps. I did clusters of the white, the clear. I found some clear ones, and the pale blue and encrusted the back of the waves up here. Then this wave has actually turned and is coming into the ocean and sort of, you know, into the beach, so to speak. So I did all the encrusting here across the top edge, so it's really obvious. Then the edge of the blue cheesecloth got a treatment of just the blue beads and clear, where up here had the white as the third bead. And then down here, as I got into this chiffon that's got that shimmer, I dropped back right down to just pearls and left the blue behind. I got a little bit of the blue, but there's blue stitching, but when I got down into this real creamy area, I just did the actual pearls. So it turned out to put, well, it turned out that I put a lot more thought into it than I had thought I would, which is interesting. So there are no beads up here, and there are no beads in the sky. It is just this movement through here, and then the beads to denote pebbles and things in amongst the rocks and the shells on the actual dunes themselves. So I'm going to call it finished, this and that. But this side, I still haven't come up with an idea yet. I'm not sure. I don't really want to do the same, but I'm happy if a little bit of this treatment here comes into here. I'm not convinced that I want to attach shells and rocks and things. Let me zoom up a little bit. So these are all those bits and pieces that I took from my house to decorate. I'm just not sure. I haven't used turtle. Turtle's sort of just hanging around. So I'm just going to think about it. We're well and truly into February now, and I'm just going to think about it. I've got a few ideas, but I haven't yet gone through them enough in my mind to see, you know, what I do there. So yeah, at this stage, I'm going to call this piece completed, and I will visit you another day. So thank you so much for joining me as we've gone down to the beach. I've thoroughly enjoyed it. And yeah, we'll just see what happens. I haven't even finished this line because I love how that's finished. To me, no more needed. But yeah, just there's a bead. My goodness, there's beads everywhere here. All right, guys, I'm going to say goodbye, and I will catch you all in the next video. If you've got any suggestions, and I know you've been throwing up ideas already, but lay them on me. Tell me what you think I should do there. I see if it's something that pops up that I'm already thinking, and yeah. Okay, all right, I love it. All right, guys, look after yourselves, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye.